So this is the Bandai Tamashii Nations SH Figuarts Dragon Ball Z Metal Cooler. It is only exclusive to Premium Bandai, or it was at least, and there are a few Japanese sites that did carry them as well, but this thing has since sold out, and it was priced pretty hefty. It was $120 for the Premium Bandai website, which was absolutely insane. Very hard to swing during these times for sure, but if you were able to, I think you got yourself a future grail in your hands, because this thing looks absolutely fantastic just through the box. Here's the back of the box, shows the figure in various poses. It also shows the figure on a rock accessory, yet it does not come with that rock accessory. I feel like that at least should have been included for the 120 bones that you are shelling out for this thing. Now this figure, I must say, is truly magnificent. It's truly something else, man. It's done very well. First impressions is that it looks so much better in hand. It looked great in the pictures, don't get me wrong, but my goodness, does this thing look great. The chrome paint they used is beautiful. It's nice, it's flawless. I don't see any issues so far, yet I feel like it is fragile. I feel like it is prone to scratching and scraping and hopefully not flaking, but it's possible. I guess time will tell on that one. I would definitely be extra careful with it. I wouldn't let it rub against other figures. I wouldn't let it try not to let it fall off the shelf either, because that might flake off some pieces. I don't know. It may or may not. I don't know how crazy they went with it with the quality, but I know they sprayed it with some sort of oil substance. I don't know what it is. This thing is super oily out of the box. It's just your fingers are going to be covered with oil. It's I don't know what it is, but I'm assuming it's to protect the chrome paint from being in the box. Maybe mint on card collectors, maybe it's something that protects it over time, 10, 15 years from now. When somebody opens one that's still sealed, it'll still be okay. Am I right with that? Does anybody know what the oil is for? Let me know down in the comment section. But I don't think I'm gonna wipe him off. Maybe I should, I don't know, but I did not wipe him off. So I might get some more oil on my hands. I did wipe my hands off, but there may be more oil to be had on my hands. The tail comes detached in the package. I attached it. It is broken up into three pieces here with three ball joints and hinges, which, I mean, if we want an articulated tail, that's what we got to kind of live with these breakups here. It looks ugly, but it is what it is. Um, Other than that, the ball joints are not chrome painted. Obviously, that would definitely flake. But everything else on the figure is chrome, aside from the biceps, the torso up here, and that's due to just the design of the figure. They did go with a nice silver paint for that, um, but the chrome is also a green chrome. It's got this green tint to it, um, and that is, of course, because on Planet Namek. I'm assuming, right? It makes sense. Planet Namek gives that reflection off of his metal armor or metal body. Man, this figure is so nice to look at. Oh, it's so gorgeous. It really, really is. This is the first time they ever done something like this in this line. And it's fantastic. It looks so good. As a diehard Dragon Ball Z fan, this is cool, man. It's really cool. It's nice to see how far this line has gone and where we're at now. Over a decade old, and we're still going strong, and we're getting characters like this. What's exciting is I believe the first form cooler is the same mold as this, so I think we're definitely going to be getting a first form cooler in this form and in this body, obviously, because this is it. It's basically it. We're just not gonna get the chrome, right? It's just gonna be purple and white. And then we have all the forms. We'll have first form, we'll have final form, and we'll have the metal cooler. That's so cool, man. No pun intended. But there it is. There's the figure out of the box. It really is something to witness in hand. Now let's check out the accessories that he comes with. All right, right before we get into that, you can literally see me in the reflection of his forehead right now. Right before we get into that, I want to show you the face plate of the figure, or the one that's on the figure right now, I should say. It's a serious face right there. And I wonder if I change the ISO on this, if you can kind of see what I see. Because this figure, yeah, you can kind of see what I see right now. It looks a little darker on camera. I just have my lights on and the entire room is dark, so maybe that's why this thing looks so dark. But depending on the lighting, of course, it's gonna change the way this thing looks. All right, so the face plate or the whole head. It's not a face plate actually; it's a whole head, and so no head. Anyways,
So no head.
we have alternate heads. Of course, we have a total of 4, including the one that I just showed you right now out of the box. Then we get this head sculpt right here, which is the teeth grinning here. Then we get, man, these heads are extra oily too. Then we get this one here with a little smirk, a nice smirk on his face. And then lastly, we get a yelling head sculpt right there, open mouth. All of them done very well. They look great. Peg hole is a little odd. Check that out right there. Very odd peg hole. So taking this head out, check it out. Not something I've seen before, but hey, it works, right? Put that head in there. There is a slight wiggle. Actually, this one doesn't have it. The first head does. You can just see the oil on this thing. See if you can see it off my fingers. But let me put on the other head. This is the one that came out of the box. There's a slight little, I mean, super subtle, but there's a little wiggle to it. So we also do get alternate feet. These are the flat feet, of course, for when he's standing. And we also do get the feet where if you want him posed flying or grabbing or on a rock like he is displayed on the back of the box, though it's not included, then you can have these feet right here where it's kind of grasping or grabbing a rock or whatever. It could be a person's head, or you could just be floating in midair in flight. Now there's 2 of these. Of course, there's a left and there's a right. Now the right one, if you look inside of it, you can see the brown oil. So the oil is like brown. You can see it in there. It's like they poured this, they drenched it. We have an alternate shoulder pad here because this is awesome. Not chrome, but we have his arm, which I believe, man, the Cooler movie is not canon. The Metal Cooler one, technically, it's not canon, but I only really saw it once. I have to rewatch it. But we do get an alternate arm and shoulder with this. I believe it's regenerating arm. I'm not sure. I have to rewatch it. It's been years, guys. It's been years. It's a left arm only. It's not articulated though. Not articulated at all. It's just static. It's not going anywhere. Yeah, there you go. We also do get a whole load of hands. So the figure itself comes packed in with a pair of fists right there. We also do get a pair of pointing hands here with the index finger pointing left and right. And next up we have these calm open hands. Some more aggressive grabby hands or open hands right here. And then last but not least we have these widespread open hands. And then of course the tail that I already showed you guys. So what I've noticed here is you can rotate the tail right here, and you can rotate it here and here and here. Oh, I didn't even see that one. Man, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points on this tail. Pretty good. So you can swivel it here, 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 and here, but not up top at the end. At least maybe it's super stiff, but it's not moving. It's not budging. I don't want to break this thing, obviously. It's a 120 buck figure. So this is kind of stationary right here, but everything else moves. And of course, this does hinge. Joints are, as you can hear it, nice squeaky because they're nice and tight, which is nice to see. This is coming from the China factory. Thank goodness. We don't really get too many QC issues from the China factory, so it's always great to see it coming from there. Vietnam factory is the one that always lets us down. The articulation on this guy is what you expect. Now I'm going to be extra careful because out of the box, I mean, this thing's pretty much mint, but there are, if you really put a microscope to it, you're going to find nicks on it already out of the box. So it's nothing that is extreme, thankfully, but it makes me believe, or it just pretty much confirms that, hey, if you rub this thing on another figure, on a table, on anything for that matter, it might scratch and it's not going to go away. So, yeah, so just be extra careful with it. And I'm going to be extra careful with it right now during the articulation process, but he's got everything you could ever want in a SH figures, of course. So the head's going to move left and right. It's going to look up and it's going to look down. Tilting, the neck is articulated. These shoulder pads are nicely, I mean, articulated. They're on these like double hinges. I mean, check that out. It's a little excessive, but it allows him to raise his arms up, right? Arms are super tight. He's got some socket joints in his shoulder butterflies. I mean, this guy, he's got everything you want. Arms extend. You can see the shoulder pad in action there. There's going to be a bicep swivel. Then there is going to be a double jointed elbow right here. Bends about that far. And then we have a swivel and a ball jointed hinge at the hand, or the wrist I should say. It's a little hard to see through all this chrome, but he does have torso articulation. Going to be extra careful once again. So he does bend forward and back and swivel, tilting as well. There is a ball joint at the waist as well. Legs, this is what scares me because these legs don't really, no, they don't drop down, but they do kick forward. I just don't want the rub to scratch. See, this might be the negative about this figure. You know, it's not going to be perfect, but if you were wanting to articulate him and you care about the, of course, the chrome on the figure and you don't want it to get scratched up, you might have to keep him vanilla posed. I don't know. Unless you don't care about the scratches, but I do. I'm just too scared to go all the way. I'm sure he can go all the way, but I am not going to risk it. Not going to risk it. This guy's out of stock. I can't just buy another one. In and out, I'm sure he can go. Yeah, scary. It gets scary there. So, like I said, that might be a negative for you. If you don't care about it potentially getting scratched or rubbing here, then go ahead, go have at it. There is a thigh swivel. Legs or the knees are going to be double jointed. I just want to kick one leg forward. There you go. Oh my god. Jeez. There you go. I kicked it forward all the way. There's the double jointed knee. The chrome goes all the way through the knee and the joints. Check that out. Pretty cool. And then there's an ankle hinge, an ankle rocker, swivel, everything you want. No toe hinge, of course. No toe hinge. And the thighs survived. So there you go. There's your articulation. Of course, I showed the tail as well. He's got everything, really, except for toe joints. So here he is next to the final form version of himself, which is also another Grail figure in my opinion. It's one of the best figures they've made in the line, and it is this beauty right here. It's just so magnificent as well. They really are killing it when it comes to Cooler, huh? So maybe they could seal the deal there and finish it off strong with a first form Cooler eventually. But Metal Cooler, you know, it looks great. I think the scale is good. Alright, next is some other recent figures that have released, and we'll do the battle damaged Goku that just came out. One of the best Gokus as well. Another banger year, huh? Another great year for DBZ Figuarts. But here he is, next to Cooler. And pretty good scale. And here he is next to the most recent repaint or reissue of this Vegeta here in the Saiyan armor. And then lastly, here is Android 19, because I don't know, why not? Alright, so I'll go ahead and wrap things up on this SH Figuarts Metal Cooler review. Overall, I gotta say it's probably my favorite figure of the year, but yet I am biased, of course. I am Dragon Ball Z fan, I'm a SH Figuarts fan, so I'm always gonna be leaning towards this line here. But I'm very satisfied with this. The only thing I'm not satisfied is the price. I don't think, even given that this figure is so nice, I don't know if 120 justifies it unless this chrome paint really is that expensive. I'm not sure, but they do have my respect for releasing it this way. I feel like most or the majority of companies would have just painted it a metallic type of paint and not make it chrome. P Bandai does open pre-orders for like a month or two, and everyone definitely had a chance to order this guy, definitely. So there's really no excuse at all for missing out on him, because they do open pre-orders, except for the fact that, hey, it's 120 bucks, not everybody has that to shell out on a toy, so I get it. But let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, and as always, take care, take it easy, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Bye.